Well, good morning to you. Welcome back to Shaving with Fuzzy. I'm Fuzzy. Hi, y'all. So it's Sunday morning in Baton Rouge. A balmy 47 degrees. A little bit of wind, cloudy. It's going to be a good day. Definitely. I think we got some rain supposed to come in earlier, and as usual, got a text. So anyway, there we go. So back to what we were saying. Not using Williams today, but every day is a good day for the Williams mug to have our Cafe Bustelo. You know what I'm saying? Sure, you know what I'm saying. Of course you do. We're going to break out some VDH Luxury today. Haven't been using it a whole lot. Hasn't been getting a lot of love. No reason not to. It's a solid soap. It's nothing overly exciting, but it works well. It's got a pleasant enough scent. Easy enough to find. And the little mug here is kind of neat. Got the nice little finger holder there. You can hold it however you want to, and everything works out good there. I like it. I am chosen by the Veg, so we're going to use the Veg today. Haven't used it in a while. I like Vegital. This is one of the most love it or hate it products around. A lot of people hate it. I've heard it referred to as all kinds of things, and mostly you hear it's just cat pee in a plastic bottle. I like it. It likes me. It works. Remember, the Veg chooses you. You don't choose the Veg. It doesn't work that way. Well, anyway, we're going to use that. For a brush today, the big old boar brush, the Omega boar here in the T400 handle by, this is called the B400. It's a T400 knockoff. Anyway, the B400 by Tom. T White made the handle. And put the Omega in there. It's a really good brush. I love the big old Omega boar brush. That's the bristles out of what it is, the 98 Pro, something like that, if I remember correctly, which maybe I do, maybe I don't. It's hard to say sometimes. So to get on the razors. So today what we're going to use is the old 1907 Jim Jr. And I can date this one in 1907 because thanks to JR that did a little research, I have an ad that shows the set from 1907. And you got the razor and all. This particular one is missing the stropping tool, but that's okay because normally you just use, and I don't know, maybe it didn't have a stropping tool in it because this was actually made to use with the modern blades, or you know, so maybe that's what it is. It does still work with a wedge blade, which is what we're going to use today. But anyway, I use one of the stropping tools off another razor, and my imitation valet strop, and gave the blade some strops. What I have is an actual Jim wedge blade, and this one was honed by Tom T White, and it you can't read it, but it does say Jim there on the Jim on the blade there. Really nice. Now this one isn't the Junior bar. It doesn't have the bar that comes over. This is just the Jim Junior. It does have the blade stop so that you can use the modern blades. But you just take your old wedge blade there, slide it in, make sure it's good and centered. And these are adjusting. They automatically adjust the blade stops. Now I found out something interesting. I had noticed that on my 1980 count there were some holes in the spring in the guides here, and those are supposed to have screws in them, of course, so that as the blade wears, as you hone it, you can adjust the blade exposure there over the comb. But the screws have fallen out of mine, so I'm going to try to find some screws. I was talking online at Toast the other day with Tom about that, and that's going to get to be a project here before too long. We're going to try to find those screws, and it works fine the way it is. Where the blade sits when it's all the way in works just fine. And of course, after you slide the blade in, it's got the tab on the back there that springs forward and holds it all in tight. So we're going to set it. I haven't actually used a wedge in this razor yet, so it's going to be a little bit of an adventure this morning, but you know, nothing wrong with that. So I saved up a couple days shaving so that it could have a good workout. I've been thinking about this shave for a few days because I really enjoy the wedge razors and the shaves I get from them. Matter of fact, my 1902 camp Should be on its way back home before long, and we'll break out the camp wedge blade I have and dive off into it once it gets back. So we'll have several razors that we can use the two wedge blades. How am I doing this morning? The two wedge blades I have, we'll put them to use every once in a while, because people seem to like watching those wedge shaves also. It's really neat stuff. We're going to get us a little going here. We're not blooming. No bloom in the soap. Unlike the Texas bloomer that likes to bloom his soap. I don't. You never would have known that, would you? So here we go. So I was reading again the other day about folks talking about shimming razors. Yeah, that's right up there with blooming. Let's go shim our razor because it makes it more like the original. Not so sure about that anyway. But I do know that razors shave just fine without going and shimming them. You want to shim something, go install a window. Yes. Be a carpenter if you want to shim something. You want to bloom something, go plant you some sunflowers. Wouldn't do any good right now, it's 48 degrees outside. And if you're further north, it's a lot colder than that, I understand. Some of my buddies from up north are talking about snow and stuff. It's like, all right. We don't see that too much down here, and when we do, everybody goes crazy. Well, crazier. All right, VDH Luxury. So I haven't met a VDH soap I don't like yet. They had the Select, which I think was the pinkish looking soap, and then they had the Deluxe, which is the, it's a whiter looking soap. Now they got the Luxury. I don't think the Luxury is an improvement over the Deluxe or the Select, personally. And I actually like the scent better of the Select or the Deluxe. But that being said, performance-wise, it's a solid soap. There's nothing wrong with it. I just don't think it's a big improvement, personally. But, somebody thought it was good to bring out, and, I don't work for the company. I don't make those decisions. So, if you're not the lead dog, the scenery never changes. I'm telling you. That's true. Alrighty. So the Gem wedge blade in a 1907 Yep, 1907. Had to stop and think for a second. Just say that's how the gears have to sometimes grind around. Jim Jr. On a couple of days worth of growth. Boy, that blade feels good already, I can tell you. Give it a little strop. The Jim Jr. is a fairly mild feeling razors. Even the old lather catchers, they're not harsh and really aggressive feeling. What they are is very efficient. And even with a wedge blade, this one feels a little bit different, of course, but it's still just a very nice, predictable, easy shave. We'll come under the bottom here. Our first pass, as always, is just a regular old with the grain here pass. This is not one of those shaves where you're going to go, boy, I couldn't feel the blade was even there. I had to look to make sure it had. No, you're not going to do that. But it is a mild blade. It's not hard to keep and find and keep the angle on these wedge razors or anything of that nature. Put up a little bit over here. Just not hard at all. It's just a straightforward, let's go get a shave. Now you can see after the first pass, we've knocked a bunch of that old gray hair and stuff off. Still got a couple of rough patches under there, but we'll take care of those. Me running my mouth, I drift off the angle and move over spots sometimes. I've noticed that happens more when I'm yakking making a video than if I shave without making a video. Add just a touch of water, because even though we're face lathered, we can adjust our lather. You know, it's not just dip the tips of the brush, and remember, just the tips of the brush, because if not, you run the risk of overwatering, and you know, well, that's not good either. But we dip just the tip of the brush in the water, and we get a little extra water on it, and lo and behold, Bob's your uncle, and you get a good lather. Already got good coffee. So let's come back and get our across the grain here. So it has always been my belief, and it still is, that shimming a razor, I understand the concept, and I've even seen people break down the physics of it, whatever you want to call it. Still don't think it's necessary. Sorry. I just if you do, that's great. It's your razor, your blade, your face. You can do what you want to. People do all kinds of silly stuff every day. Every day. And did I just say that shimming a razor is silly? Yes, I did. I did say that. That was me. I did say that shimming a razor is silly. Just about as silly as mail-in ballots to vote. Mail-in ballots. Text. I told people I was shaving. Oh well, people like to text. What can you do? Anyway, that's all I'm going to say on that subject too. Mail-in ballots to vote. Ridiculous. But we try not to get political here and over at Toast and stuff. Of course, at Toast we've got the range. And when you get into the gun stuff, us gun guys, it can get political in a hurry. So anyway, we do have that section at the range. And it's kind of walled off from the rest of it because it's a shaving forum and everything. But that's okay. Gun guys could do that. Well, looky there. After 2 passes, getting a little cleanup going on there. And look how much we've done. Nice, huh? I can tell you it feels pretty nice too. So we're going to do our normal witch hazel cleanup pass here. Now, witch hazel, I normally have just the store brand, but the other day I ran out of that, and the store I went to, I don't remember which store it was now. Maybe it was a Albertsons, but anyway, had the Dickinson's witch hazel, and it's 100% natural astringent. And if I can find a pair of reading glasses real quick, I want to check real quick and see. And yep. So this says all natural distilled witch hazel, 100%, containing natural grain alcohol of 14%. So it's a 14% alcohol, grain alcohol in with it, and I think that's pretty standard stuff. But anyway, even just the regular old generic, whatever store, dollar store, whatever store you go to get your stuff, works great. But the Dickinson's here is also very nice. It's got a nice, you know, witch hazel doesn't have a real, in its natural state, it's got kind of a, I don't know, musty smell to it. And I've heard people complain about that, but it's not going to be on for very long. You know, it's not like you're using it for an aftershave or anything, so I wouldn't complain too much about it. Alright, let's get under here and do some little cleanup under our neck, because we always know we need to clean up under our neck. Ear, we'll come down a funny old ear here. And I know I say it every time, but a cleanup pass just ends up being another shaving pass. We'll get down under here and get the old goatee cleaned up. That's pretty important stuff. Alright. Under the ear over here, for some reason if I did a little bit better skin stretching, I wouldn't have the problems in the back of my ears, I know. Alright, there we go. Well, there's what we come up with. Have a look-see there. Pretty darn good shape. Golly. Especially with a wedge razor. It just adds to it. Alrighty, we'll get a little draw going. There we go. So I hope your weekend's going well, or has gone well, because we're already to Sunday. The weekend's almost over. Unless you're retired, and then let's face it, every day's a weekend. But hope it's going well for you. Alright. If you haven't tried a wedge razor, they're a lot of fun. The secret, of course, is either being able to, oh, that's nice. I love the veg in the morning. I love the smell of the veg in the morning, I'm telling you. But, of course, the secret with a wedge razor is either you need to be able to hone the blades or have someone that'll hone them for you. I'm lucky enough that I have a friend that can hone them for me, and then I can strop them and keep them going from there. And I could probably learn to hone. Probably a skill I could develop, but I just haven't really worked on it. But even if you're not much on the taking care of a wedge like that, if you pick up these old leather catchers, if they have the blade stops on the front, and you know you'll have some kind of a blade rest there, adjustable. But if you have the blade stops on the front there, then it'll use a modern blade. It slips in, it goes under the catches there, and then it goes all the way up against the blade stops, and then you just click it up in the back. But so if you had the blade stops, you can use a modern blade in there. They're a lot of fun to shave with, and you know, using something, this is 111 years old, give or take, and using an old piece of equipment like that, the things are beautiful. I mean, they got the scroll work on the back and everything, and they're just gorgeous with a two-piece handle. If you can get one that's got a decent box with it, that's really neat. And mine, this one is actually one of the better looking boxes that I have. And you open it up, it goes in, and you put that in, and there you go. That's what it looks like in the box. And it had a 7-day set there for the blades. So it's really neat if you can find a complete set that's in good shape. But just finding the razor in decent shape where you can use it, the shaves are just tremendous. Look, if you'd like to know more about that, as I always say at the end of these videos, come over to Toast and play with us. TheOriginalSafety2.com, that's the Original Safety, all one word with the letter 2, or the number 2 rather, .com. And all we do is single edge and injector razors. There's a lot of people over there that like these wedge razors. Some of the people I've been talking about, Jayara, T. White, Ordinary Shaver, we're all over there. So, you know, come by and say hi. We'd love to hear what you think about the razors and how you do things, and everybody can pick up information from everybody, and it's really good stuff. So I'm out of here. Y'all have a great day. I've got to get dressed and get on to the morning service. And, you know, happy shaves. We'll see.